So it's time to continue with the Merkava Mark 1 platoon. The Merkava was really good. I enjoyed driving that vehicle a lot. And, well, I actually kind of expected something for the Magach Hydra. And now the Magach Hydra is basically a top tier version of the Calliope. It has a lot of rockets. Unfortunately, in top tier, those rockets are not going to be as effective as the rockets in low tier. And I still find myself using the main cannon a lot more often than the rockets. And the rockets also seem to behave in a very weird way. When I want to aim at long distances, the rockets fall short. When I aim at short distances, the rockets go long range. So I don't know what's up with that. However, having a secondary weapon option is always a nice thing, and up close, you can definitely absolutely wreck anything lightly armored with those rockets. Now, my experience with this vehicle was rough. I definitely had a lot more fun with the Merkava 1. For some reason, the Merkava just was working much better, at least in my case. And that is before I actually, started to use my main cannon a lot more often than the rockets. I really wanted to use the rockets a lot more, since I kind of imagined this vehicle to feel the same way as a Calliope would feel. Unfortunately, the thing is, it's obviously not a Calliope, and obviously the tier difference is making the biggest difference between the vehicles. In low tier, your shells are much slower. You don't have a PFSDS shells. The vehicles are different. In top tier, the vehicles are much more modern. The shells are much more advanced, and those rockets kind of fall behind, not in technology exactly, but if you have a PFSDS, it's much faster, much easier to aim. If you have a ATGM, it's also much faster, much easier to aim. It's guided, of course. You guide the rocket, the missile, where you want it to go. However, while those things are true, up close, I think this thing can actually be quite a menace. However, there is a problem in armor. I think it's based on the M48 hull or the M60 hull. I didn't really pay much attention to the vehicle design, but I would say M60 hull based on the rear exhaust. Kind of a modernized version. I mean, it's a Magach after all, so it's based on the M60 hull. And in top tier, the M60 is in a very weird place. It has big, obvious ammo rack weak spots, and vehicles like the CV T-72 and similar vehicles like that will be able with no problem to go through your armor and to hit your ammo, which is the problem with this vehicle. Very thin armor for top tier. I mean, armor doesn't really matter in top tier, but it's very easy to just nail the ammo on this vehicle. Even if you get hit in the turret, you can still get ammo racked. So definitely on a more tough side when it comes to the gameplay. The main cannon is really good. I'm not complaining about the main cannon. The ammo, you have APFSDS, you have HEATFS, and you have high explosive, all of which are actually really good ammo choices, really good ammo types, and you will have no issue to cut through armor with this main gun and with this vehicle. Reverse speed is also decent. I mean, able to go backwards is really good. T-72, yeah, that doesn't really have a reverse gear, but this thing does kinda have that. It's on the slower side, but usable. And in most cases, I didn't really find myself using those rockets much. Every time I tried to use the rockets, I would get destroyed, absolutely torn to shreds, because the rockets, if they if the rockets had, let's say, a separate aiming reticle, it would definitely be much easier to just, shoot with the main gun and then shoot with the rockets. Unfortunately, you don't have that. You have only one reticle, and that's pretty much for all the vehicles. But yeah, if it had a secondary reticle, it would be much easier to aim with the rockets, because at the moment, as it stands with the rockets, only up close, you can up close or medium to long distances. You can actually use those rockets to fish out a lightly armored vehicle that's hiding behind a rock or similar. If you start to spam the rockets, you can actually do some splash damage to them, and you can force them to make a mistake and pop out. But yeah, those rockets are definitely, I would not be using them as my main weapon. Your main weapon is the main cannon, since it's capable, it's really solid. The rockets are secondary in case something gets close to you. In case something gets close to you, or in case something lightly armored is close, or if you're reloading, you can also use the rockets to destroy lightly armored vehicles. That was a good hit. Okay, and there is a T-72. Yeah, let me just go and capture the zone first. There we go. Now, do I like this vehicle? That's a very good question, because honestly speaking, when I started out to record this specific vehicle today, I didn't really have much fun with it. However, later, obviously, as you see in this video, once I kind of figured out what to do with it and how to play it, yeah, it's definitely a fun vehicle. However, if you have the Merkava Mark 1 and the Hydra in the same place, I think most players will pick the Merkava over the Hydra. Mostly because the Merkava does seem to work better. However, better or worse, that comes down to the player at the end of the day. Some might actually prefer this vehicle over the Merkava, which is fine. Some prefer the Merkava over this vehicle, which is fine as well. But yeah, I would say both vehicles are definitely quite solid. I like both, honestly. There we go. Nice ammo explosion. Oh, there is more vehicles. So there's the Pancake, which has a tandem missile. Not the best tandem missile. I had no penetration, which is still good, but it's honestly fun to compare them. Oh, those rockets actually did something. Okay, very nice. But yeah, aiming those rockets is definitely kind of the tricky part. That was a double kill. Okay, now we're talking. That was pretty decent. And let's jump in the revenge bomber. Let's see who shall be bombed. That's a lot of enemy tanks. Let's just go one by one. Let's just go one by one. Here, a bomb for you. Bomb for you. And a little gift for these two tanks at sea. There we go. Well, I hit something, but they survived. Okay, that's one bombed vehicle. Well, I guess better than nothing at the end of the day. I definitely feel a little more comfortable driving the Merkava, because I know that vehicle is a bit different, and that vehicle has actually a tougher turret, because when I get hit in the turret in the Merkava, I actually survive a bunch of hits, but when I get hit in the turret with this vehicle, not so much. So that would be one big difference. And I don't know if you can actually destroy the vehicle if you hit the rockets. I know on the Calliope, if you actually manage to land a shell in the rockets, in rocket tubes, if they're full, if the rocket tubes are full, you can actually destroy the Calliope in what is like pretty much one hit. Not really sure with this vehicle. I'm fairly sure everyone would just shoot at the hull, since it's just faster to deal with the vehicle here. I would do that. Or shoot at the commander with high explosive. Probably will be able to overpressure it. That was a nice little hit. Slowly going forward. Now, I really wish that, let's say M68-2, technically the same vehicle as what I'm driving here, but with a different turret. Unfortunately, I'm unable to. Let me just dump the rockets. Maybe some of them actually go and hit the target. There we go. Well, maybe they're hitting. Actually, maybe not. Yeah, no damage. Well, actually, I did destroy the gun, I guess. The M60, if hold down, can be quite difficult to deal with. If you can't put the shell a bit downward to actually hit the hull. Well, someone else got the kill. We holding all 3 zones. Yeah, this seems like a victory. And well, my experience with the Hydra, you know, it's a decent vehicle. I think players will love this vehicle actually. It's good, it's definitely good, it's playable. And overall, yeah, mostly pleasant experiences now with this vehicle after actually figuring out to use the rockets as a secondary weapon. But with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed. If you would like to support me, feel free to like and subscribe. And with that being said, stay safe, and as always, I'll see you next time.